Big Sky Outdoors, powered by Town Pump, fueling your next outdoor adventure, is also brought to you by Counter Assault, your ultimate protection in the wild. By Montana Army Navy, get it, get out, and live it. The Outdoor Report is provided by Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. And Bob Wards, everything outdoors, Montana style.
Hi and welcome to this week's edition of Big Sky Outdoors. I'm Matt Redding. I'm along here with Joel Stevenson. Hey Joel, this is one of our favorite times of year to be out fishing.
Definitely.
Everyone's putting their rods away, getting the rifles out for the general deer and elk season, which starts this weekend. But this is a fantastic time to get on the river. The browns are just getting primed up for the spawn. It's a great time to hit the river.
Yeah, let's go do it.
All right, let's do it. Nice, Joel.
Nice little rainbow on an egg pattern. These rainbows like to get up behind the spawning browns and eat eggs, and it's a great time of year to catch these fish. We got a basic nymphing setup. I've got 2 flies. The way I set this up, instead of tying the flies just in line like that, I actually come back up the line and tie in a dropper so that they float independent of each other. There's a couple of split shot to get down on the bottom where you need to be, and then we go right on up the line. We have a strike indicator. Don't always need a strike indicator depending on how shallow the water is. We're fishing a couple of egg patterns because there are spawning brown trout in here, and we're catching rainbows that feed on these egg patterns. Lots of different flavors of eggs. This is my personal favorite right here, pink and peach colored.
There's a number of really good egg patterns out there. The Montana Fly Company makes many of those. We have a few of these soft bead patterns. They're in a variety of different colors: pink, yellow, chartreuse, red. And not all fish spawn at the same time in the same part of the river. And so it's good to have a different selection of different colors of egg patterns, and along with the traditional glow bugs. You can't go wrong with this pattern as well. You got to have that in your repertoire. So swing by any of your Bob Wards throughout the state of Montana, and they're going to have a great selection of egg patterns for you to choose from.
I've got a 9-foot 6-weight rod with a nice MFC Montana Fly Company reel. It's just a perfect setup for nymphing. You can throw the line out where you need it to be and get to those fish. Here's one of these pretty little German browns that we have in here. These are the fish that are spawning right now. We've been catching some rainbows today, but these browns are spawning. Beautiful little fish. Love those red spots.
So right here is a really good example of a red, something that basically what the brown trout are doing this time of year. The females are getting on the bed there and laying their eggs, and the males will come up behind them and fertilize those.
The reds that the fish spawn on, it's actually spelled R-E-D-D, and it doesn't have anything to do with the color red. It's pretty easy to spot them. If you look out in the river, you'll find a place where the gravel looks like it's been cleaned. The bottom of this river right now is pretty dark, but if you find a really light colored spot with really fine gravel, it's a really good chance that that's a red, and we want to avoid those. Oftentimes there will be fish laying on those, and it's good to just leave them alone and let them do their thing, because that makes more fish for us.
It's a small little rainbow, but still fun to catch.
Since 1953, Town Pump has proudly served our communities as Montana's best convenience store. Town Pump offers a huge selection on all your favorite products, and we're always expanding to meet your needs. This month's specials include
Budweiser Miller and Coors 30-packs just $21.99. Hunter Sack Lunch only $7. And Corona New Belgium Sierra Nevada 6-pack bottles just $6.99.
Town Pump is here to serve your community, so come visit Montana's best convenience store today.
Find your next adventure at Bob Ward's Sports and Outdoors. Bob Ward's Sports and Outdoors, Montana style.
Today we're targeting brown and rainbow trout. It's late October, early November. It's right during the prime time of the spawn. And I've chosen today's setup to be a little bit of both worlds here. I've got kind of a nymph setup and then the egg pattern setup as well. And I like the chartreuse and red dot pattern for the glow bug there. And then slightly right above that, about 6 inches or so, I have a little bit of a split shot. And that just allows that glow bug to go down to the very bottom of the river or creek. Right above the split shot, I've chosen today a San Juan worm. And the reason for that is it's just a great little nymph pattern for when there's been weather in the last 2 or 3 days like there has been. We've had a little bit of precipitation, a little bit of rain, and worms and those kind of nymphs are great right after storms or during storms for that matter. And then right above my San Juan worm, about 18 inches to 2 feet, I've got my indicator. And I really like using a clear or white indicator like that. A lot of people use yellow or greens or oranges or whatever. I like the clear. It looks more like a natural bubble on the surface of the water. It probably doesn't really matter, but for me it makes me feel better, I guess, more than anything else. And then I'm fishing today a 5-weight, 9.5 foot rod. It's a Sage 1. I really like throwing this rod. It's just stiff enough to be able to throw my bugs along with my split shot and my indicator where I need to be. And I like the little bit longer length too, so that way I don't have to back cast quite so far. I'm able just to flip it out there, and it's able to do a nice drag-free drift along the bottom of the river.
A couple things I like to think about when I'm nymphing is I don't like to have tons and tons of line out, and I don't like to have to back cast because I end up getting too many snags and snarled lines and tangles. And so I like to make smooth, quick, simple motions. So I'll have my line all the way stretched out below me downstream, and then as I'm ready to make my cast, I load my line, I load my rod by pulling on this with my left hand, with my slack hand, as I cast upstream. And on smaller streams like this, that's about all you need to do. And then mend as you go along. Mending helps the fly drift more drag-free. And oftentimes in smaller streams, there's lots of brush. It's easy to get tangled up. Instead of back casting, I cast downstream, let my line drag in the water, pull up, and then throw it upstream. Now, the fish will lay on the bottom of the river, and they'll lay in the spot that is most optimal for them to get food. The food actually comes to them. They just sit there and they'll go a little ways, a couple inches one way or the other. But if they see your fly coming by a foot, 1.5 feet away, there's a good chance they're not gonna go that far out of their way. Sometimes they do, but most of the time they don't. So it's good to make many casts, cover all of the water, start in close. You don't always have to be standing waist deep in the water. A lot of times the fish are laying right up close to the bank. fish all of that first. Once you've covered that water and you need to get into the water to go out, move into the water, and then just work your way as deep as you feel comfortable going without getting in too much current and too deep. You know, depending on the water you're on, there's lots of different things that you need to learn about nymphing. But on a small stream like this is a couple of things that help make my day just a little bit better, help me catch a few more fish.
He's a nice little brown. Cool spots on him there. They're darker in this creek for sure. They're a lot darker than a lot of other browns around the western part of the state. So on this particular river or creek, this is an ideal example of kind of the type of water we're looking to fish today. You've got this great little riffle coming down here right into this bush, and it gets nice and deep. There's kind of a deep little bucket right there. And what's happening is that those fish are holding right in that bucket area. And so what we're trying to do is cast right into that riffle, get as close to that brush over there on the far bank as we possibly can, and then let it drift into that bucket. And as it drifts into that bucket, there's almost always been a fish right there. It's been a really good little pocket.
Good little rainbow, we'll take it. It's a good little boat. Fun to catch.
Army-Navy is your hunting headquarters. It's the best place around when you're serious about saving money on the things you need to go hunting. Knife sharpeners, wool gloves, backpacking meals, optics, socks, boots, insoles, stoves. Why, it's a virtual hunter's checklist. All name brands and all at fantastic savings. On Highway 2 in Evergreen and Highway 93 in Whitefish. MontanaArmyNavy.com.
Get out and live it.
It's a nice little brown. Took the glow bug. Look at the color on this fish.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Look at the color. Look at the little red spots on him there. Great little fish. Yeah, I like him. We've been throwing a lot of nymphs and egg patterns today, but this is also a great time of year to be throwing large streamers. And what I've got today for that is I've got a 6-weight, 9-foot rod. This allows me to throw streamers accurately and with distance if I need it. This isn't a very large creek or river, so I don't need to cast that far, but this rod and this setup really allows me to do that. Also, I've got a sinking tip line on here. Generally, this is better for a larger river. It's pretty shallow. I probably really don't need it for this one, but I left this setup on from my last streamer trip, so I kept it on there. It's good because it gets the streamer down fairly quickly. And the streamer that I'm using today, again, is just a classic sparkle minnow. I love this little fly. It's caught more fish for me this year, more large fish this year than I think any other streamer I've ever used. So I'm really stoked on this one. Again, you can swing by at any of the Bob Wards throughout the state of Montana. and they have a great selection of Montana Fly Company flies.
Nice little rainbow, took a glow bug. Not too long before dark here. We're gonna go try to get some more.
Here's this week's outdoor report by our friends at Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks.
I think I could have had that bird.
Even as an experienced raptor trapper, this day is not starting out well for Rob Dominic.
Yeah, that bird just blasted my pigeon. We had no idea it was there. I think there's a couple more out front. Hang on.
Every fall, Dominic and his Raptor View research team travel to Rogers Pass to catch and band raptors.
We've banded over 3,000. We've got over 300 golden eagles banded. We bring this way.
Dominic found this spot 15 years ago when he was searching for places to survey golden eagle migrations.
Got it. The Rocky Mountain front through Canada into Montana represents the largest golden eagle migration on Earth, and it's an ideal opportunity to do research on these migratory populations.
Over the years, surveys have shown a sharp decline in golden eagle numbers, which is a concern for Dominic and his team.
We're seeing declines in migratory numbers over the past 15 years, approaching 50%, and that's a little scary. And what might be driving that? That's what we're trying to help figure out.
Studies show 70% of golden eagle mortalities are human caused.
This would suggest that there's something happening down here, whether it be electrocution, lead poisoning, prey base reductions, vehicle collisions. These are all things that we know are killing eagles.
Dominic hopes through more research and education, we will find solutions to conserve golden eagles before it's too late.
If golden eagle numbers are indeed going down at the rate that they're showing right now, then we need to do something now rather than wait until we just have a few eagles flying around. We got to get a hold of this thing now.
I'm Winston Greeley, out among Montana's fish, wildlife, and parks.
Counter Assault, the original bear deterrent, has been made, developed, and scientifically tested in Montana for nearly 30 years.
Counter Assault is what I chose for my staff based on my personal experience, scientific testing, and it's the only one that met all the expert recommendations. Spray time and spray distance are important in a bear attack, and Counter Assault has both. As an avid hiker, hunter, and outdoorsman, Counter Assault is my first line of defense in bear country.
Carry what the professionals carry. Counter Assault, Grizzly Tough Bear Spray. Look for the red can.
So we've had just a great day out here on the river, and it's so beautiful. This time of year in the fall, with the tamaracks turning and all the rest of the trees turning yellow, there's just nothing better. And it's been a quiet day. We haven't seen another fisherman all day long, and this is why I like to go fly fishing, because you can get out, get away from the hustle and bustle of everything, and just have a great day on the water. It's a lot of fun. This one looks like a whitefish. There are lots of whitefish in all these streams here in Montana, and now I've got 2 fish on actually. And that's not, doesn't always happen, but getting a double like that is kind of fun. Wow, that's pretty cool. But whitefish are great. You know, a lot of people don't really like whitefish, but they live in clean water, they eat the same bugs as trout, and they fight pretty darn well too, and they're a lot of fun to catch. Get this guy first. Like a little bead head. He wanted to go a little more than the other one. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've had one of those. It's probably the 4th or 5th time in my life that I've had doubles on, 2 fish at once. Pretty fun.
Joel, that was a pretty fun day. What do you think?
Yeah, it was great. You know, we came out here, we got away from town. It's a beautiful fall day, and you know, fishing, we didn't catch quite as many fish as we had hoped, but we caught some really nice ones and we had a fun time.
Yeah, you know, like you said, you know, we didn't catch a lot of fish, but the ones we picked up were really pretty.
Yep.
I love the color of the fish this time of year, and the color of the leaves. The larch are going off right now.
Yeah.
It's been a beautiful day. The sun came out really nice. It's been beautiful today. So, hey, it was fun fishing with you today.
Hey, thanks.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see you next week on Big Sky Outdoors.